Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, I have decided to just teach you history of English literature, and I have planned to just teach you in chronological order. And in chronological order, first important phase is Anglo-Saxon period. Generally, all the teachers used to start history of English literature from the age of Chaucer, but I have decided to teach you from Anglo-Saxon period because this is the landmark of English literature. Students, before starting Anglo-Saxon period, let us know something about its background. What was its history? The students, there was a Iceland, and on that Iceland, Celts were surviving. It was the group of tribes. Among those tribes, Brythons were there, Celts were there, and students, here you should remember, you must have in your mind, that from this tribe Brythons, later on Britain came. The name of Britain has been derived from these tribes like Brythons. Students, they were surviving there on that Iceland. Celts was the native men of this land. But students, in those times, Rome was very powerful dynasty. Rome was a very powerful country. And it was the taste of the emperors of Rome that they used to attack over several lands. They invaded there. They ruled there. The concept of colonization, what about we are acquainted today? It was in the mind of Romans earlier. For that purpose, they have attacked several times on this land. And Celts were not able to just defend them, and in this process, Romans invaded over Celts, and now the land of Celts just converted into the lands of Romans, and this is called Roman conquest. Romans started their living, they have started utilizing the resources available there. Not only resources they have just utilized, but also they have made their development in several areas, especially in the field of sculpture, in the field of building. And what important thing, what they have brought with them was Latin language. They have brought here Latin language. Students, this is the beginning of the language, an official language on the land of Celts. Students, they are safely surviving there, ruling over this land. By now, this was Roman Empire, but at that time, and you must have in your mind that at that time, systematic countries were not there, as you are just watching today. Tribes were there. On the several part of this globe, different tribes were there. And at that time, a very cruel kind of tribe that is called Visigoths. The Visigoths just came in action, and they have started attacking over Rome, because the attention of Roman Empire is over this land was more. That's why, so Rome was something insecure at that time. That's why the Visigoths started just utilizing this time They have taken the advantage of this time, they have started attacking there. And when Romans thought that my own empire is just slipping in our hands, so they have just returned there in Rome, and now this land again became very big without king, without emperor. So when this land became big in the absence of emperor, so several other tribes started just invading there, to coming there to rule over. And among those tribes, Picts were there, Picts, Picts were there, and also Scots were there. Scots tribe was from Scotland. They came here. And now this land remained the land of tribes. Students, when they have just felt that now we are nothing but only a group of tribes, so Celts thought that when these different tribes are attacking over, so better for us to just invite someone for our help. And students, now Celts with other tribes, they have invited Anglo-Saxons. This is the beginning of Anglo-Saxons. They have invited Anglo-Saxon on their land to help, but they have just forgotten that they want to get rid of other invaders, and for that purpose they are just inviting another invader. Yes, Anglo-Saxon came there. Anglo-Saxon were not actually special countrymen, it was not a country actually, but it was also the group of tribes. And in Anglo-Saxon, three tribes were there: Angles, Jutes, and Saxons. So later on I will discuss over. Now Anglo-Saxon, they have just defeated all the powers which were just showing their power, and now this land became the land of Anglo-Saxons. Here one thing I want to just make clear, that among these tribes, Anglo means Angles, Sax, and Jute. Jute was neglected because there was no special role there of Jutes. Jutes played no special role. That's why only two tribes remained there as a ruler, Angles and Sax. That's why this is called Anglo-Saxon period. And later on, Anglo-Saxon's language became the language of that place, and Anglo-Saxon developed as language as Anglo-Saxon language. It was German archaic language, very difficult language, very archaic language. Later on I will discuss over. Students, now they have started surviving there freely, and they had started developing their self. Students, among Anglo-Saxons, the Angle and Sax, two tribes about we have discussed. So Angles were actually the fishermen. Generally, you know that fishermen are called anglers because they have a special kind of instrument to just fishing, that is called angul. Just this like a structure they have, angul. So they have angul, that's why they are called anglers. And for that their land is this, that's why this is the land of Angles land. and later on this Angles land converted into England. So this is the tribe Angle which just converted later on in the form of England. Saxon were also very same kind of tribes. They have always in their hands an axe. They were a very fighting kind of men. They were fighters. So they have just surviving there, and they have developed Anglo-Saxon language, and Anglo-Saxon language was actually the beginning of English language, and in this Anglo-Saxon period English started growing, but not its real form, because earlier Italian language was prevalent there, and after the departure of Roman Empire, Italian language just departed, and a local language, Anglo-Saxon, became the local language of this place. So it has just came in a form, and a very great king, great Alfred the king, became the emperor here, and he had just made 5 kingdoms there, which were called heptarchy. Heptarchy was the group of 5 kingdoms, and among those 5 kingdoms, Wessex was the head, where King Alfred himself used to survive. And students, King Alfred was not an ordinary king. He has started developing not only the cultural values, but he has worked a lot in the field of literature. From Latin language, he has made several literature translated into the local language, into English. But here one thing is remarkable, that English was old English, not like today, because that is very difficult to understand that. So here Anglo-Saxons survived there, Anglo-Saxon ruled over, and the period of Anglo-Saxon was from 407 to 787. They have survived, but unfortunately at that time again a tribe started attacking over Anglo-Saxon, and it was Viking attacked. Vikings were very, very dangerous kind of tribes. You can just imagine that so cruel they were, कि they used to just pull down the ribs of the live men, and they used to pour salt over that to kill them. And they have just made the empire of Anglo-Saxon ended, and they have just started ruling over England. But they have not done a lot, especially in the field of literature. The literature, what was actually prevalent, what was developed, it was in the field of Anglo-Saxon period. And after Anglo-Saxon period, Vikings period came, and Vikings period came, and after Viking period, the age, the landmark of English literature, the age which came is Norman conquest, the period of Normans. Normans were the native men of the France. There was a province there, Normandy. From Normandy, Normans came in England, and they have just developed Norman period there. The students, after that I will discuss the Anglo-Saxon literature, but in the next video I think you have just understood the background and the history of Anglo-Saxon period. Thank you very much.